Since the pandemic, global travel has become more complicated. But should that put us off travelling altogether? Or maybe now's the time to stop and ask ourselves, how well do we know our own country? Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be travelling across the Hebrides, but I don't have a car, I'm on my own, and I don't have loads of money. All I have is my own 2 feet, and I will be relying entirely on those and public transport to find out if it is viable and enjoyable to backpack across this region. The Hebrides is an archipelago of hundreds of islands just off the northwest coast of Scotland. And the amount of islands out there, all of different sizes, offers a vast opportunity for exploration. The route I'm taking is across the biggest islands of Skye, Lewis and Harris, but there are many other routes out there, all available by boat, bus or good old hitchhiking. On the days that I've been filming so far, the weather has been relatively good, but today I'm just sheltering mid-hike in these ruins because it's not so nice today. I'm having a great holiday. With wind like that and rain that is literally lashing sideways, a local described this weather to me this morning as classic Skye weather. Fortunately, there are these remains of castles and forts dotted all around the island of Skye. Unfortunately, they are all, literally all of them, missing their roofs, so they don't provide much shelter. I'm absolutely drenched, I'm absolutely sodden, so wet I can wring my gloves out of water. It is ridiculous, but it's all part of the Scottish experience. I managed to get into this little alcove in the castle ruins. Perfect place to perch. I have a little cheese sandwich, a little packed lunch. This is where I'm really saving the money on the food. Thankfully, not every day that I've travelled in Skye has been this stormy. It's a new day here on Uig on the north of the Isle of Skye, and although it's been hammering it down all morning during breakfast, the weather today is looking a lot more promising. Sun's rising over Uig Bay. Today I'm going on a big walk to a really popular area called the Kerrang. We're at what is for most people the start of the Kerrang walk, but for me, having no car and there's no direct public transport here, I've already walked 2 hours, 10 kilometers to get here. It has been a stunning walk, but it would be a 20-minute drive from Uig, where I'm staying, to here. But I'm here to walk, so that's what I've done. 2 hours to start the walk, and now I can do the actual walk that I'm here to do. Today is a rainy day here on Skye, classic Skye weather. I've got my Wong bag and I'm hitting the road and I'm heading down there to Uig Port because we're getting a boat, we're going to the Outer Hebrides, we're off to Lewis and Harris. Let's go. Safety announcements in Scottish Gaelic. So cool. So I've arrived on the Isle of Lewis, and you know how I like to save money? Well, for my accommodation this evening, I found this kind of activity youth centre that also has bunk beds, and they rent them out for £20 a night. But the thing is, obviously it's off season, we're on a relatively remote isle, and it's an unstaffed hostel. You check yourself in and out. There's no one here. I'm here in the middle of nowhere in a youth centre on my own, and I'll be honest, it's a little bit creepy. Let me show you around. This is the corridor to my room. There is a light, don't worry. It's a little intimidating. It kind of has school vibes. So this is the room that I'm staying in. Welcome to my crib. It's a little bit creepy. But I mean, it's nice in its own way, because obviously it's freezing cold. They provided me with an electric radiator. The beds look comfortable enough. The room has a fridge, a microwave. And to be fair, because I'm here on my own, I mean, I've got my pick of bathrooms, but I do also have an ensuite bathroom in my private room. So it's not bad, it's just a little different. Just a heads up, if you do come to the Outer Hebrides, and I was warned about this before I arrived, everything is closed on a Sunday. We're here on one of the main shopping streets on Stornoway. Even like Argos is closed all day. Even the major supermarkets here closed all day on a Sunday. So I was fortunately pre-warned to get food beforehand. I have to say, this trip across the Hebrides has surpassed my expectations massively. I've seen rocks and landscapes and mountains that I just never knew existed here in Great Britain, in our own country. As for affordability, here in the winter there was so much availability of places to stay. I stayed in a lot of dorm rooms that were empty. I had the whole room to myself. The nights here cost between £20 and £35, and the buses between towns generally cost between kind of £5 and £10. Same with the ferries. So while it's not the cheapest place for backpacking, in terms of what you are getting, the variety and the quality of the landscape, the accommodation, everything you're getting, I would say it is an extreme bargain and a great place to practice backpacking because it has all the great elements of backpacking. A lot of places to hike, hitchhiking is safe and available, and you really at times feel like you're out in the wilderness. But it is a very safe part of the country. The people are extremely friendly and approachable, and of course English is the prominent language, but it is amazing to see as you go further out into the Outer Hebrides, you hear some Scottish Gaelic being spoken just around, which is really beautiful to hear. So a very affordable, a very doable trip as a solo backpacker, but has it been enjoyable? I hope from seeing this video you have got just a fraction of the idea of how much I have enjoyed this trip. It has really stepped up and made me see this part of the UK in a completely different light. So if you are craving to get away, but you're maybe not feeling overly confident about going abroad during the pandemic, I hope this has given you some idea of what this wonderful part of the UK can offer you, and maybe even inspire you to come and see it for yourselves.